Can't wait for SawCon. Oh, no way. That's a setup. Lolo. SawCon sounds nothing like anything to be suspicious of. When is SawCon? Tell me more. SawCon D's nuts. Hey, what's going on, folks? What's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. And, you know, people want the Jamie guy for the longest time, but this character, yeah, he's very difficult to play. If you're a new player, it doesn't matter too much who you pluck. Doesn't matter too much what character you play, but he's a very challenging character, particularly when you start to get to the higher levels. I'd say about 1900 MR starts to kick in, like, oh gosh, this character has to work pretty hard, huh? So on top of managing the drinks, managing the drive gauge, the supers, Zero Drink Jamie is easily the worst character in the game. I think that's undebatable. But the more drinks you get, the more he starts to become pretty good. And the other issue, though, is when you get to 4 drinks, he's probably top tier. But it takes a lot of work to get to that. So, for example, if I'm playing against Ed, I might whiff punish him, like I might get a sharp whiff punish on him, and then I get my first drink. And then the classic, you gotta sacrifice drinks for Oki. So rather than a lot of characters, they just hit you and then they just throw you in the corner and you gotta guess for your life. Jamie has to play a little bit more neutral, especially in the first round when you don't have any supers. You know, you don't ever start off with any drinks. That's just how it goes. But in this video, I'm basically gonna go over the tools, like the basic tools that you have with Jamie to get those things going. And as far as like very specific Oki scenarios, I won't go too much on that. I think once you have the tools to get to that position in the first place, then it's pretty much easier to figure out. So what are those things? How do you play neutral? And anti-airs, pretty much. Which I do think that Jamie has one of the best anti-airs in the game, though it is very difficult to do. And that is tensai kicks, but let me not get too ahead of myself. First of all, drive rush jab. How could one forget? Driver's jab is incredibly important with Jamie. Jamie is a character where people like to neutral jump a lot because of drive rush heavy punch, because of light punch palm, heavy punch palm, whatever. They're going to try to jump and hit heavy, like a landing attack, and it's going to punish your palms, going to punish if you do drive rush heavy punch. But driver's jab is better because you can at least recover in time to uppercut them. And you know, when you're drive rushing anyways and you see them in the air, you can just switch your offense. And that's a very important skill to have when you're playing against these creatures. I've heard them referred to as these creatures in ranked. So you need to have drive rush jab, especially because it's fuel efficient. And then if it hits them, you know, you want to go into down medium punch as long as it's in range. But sometimes you're not in range and down medium punch won't hit, especially if it collides with one of their extended hurt boxes. So you kind of sometimes got to settle for a down medium kick. If you get down heavy punch, that's cool, but it's really, you just want to get that first drink going. Yep. So driver's jab, incredibly important. If you're only doing driver's jab, it's not going to be that effective. You have to play also with his other attacks, such as palms. Palms are very necessary. I hesitate to say good because the risk to reward ratio is just terrible. If they whiff punish your palm, if they jump over your palm, you lose. Especially when you got 0 drinks. They put you in the corner, you can't even dive kick. You got an uppercut with no drinks, uppercut, then drink, and you're still in the corner. It's really bad. So you have to use these with extreme caution and a lot of observation to see what your opponent is really doing, if they're looking for it. But palm can be a way that you can get those first drinks, and they can be spaced so that you can be safe on block. So when you do light punch palm in a drink, -8, most characters can't punish that. It's very difficult to do it, as long as you don't put yourself in the corner with it. Like Cammy, maybe her critical art can do it, but for the most part, palm drink is one way to get it started in neutral. And since we're on the subject of palm, I also want to go over OD palm. You can hit confirm this in the level 2. If you have a lot of drive gauge, this is very powerful. This is very powerful. This position right here is one of the best positions you could possibly be in as Jamie. Because, whoops! Because you spent 3 bars to get there, but you also regenerate drive gauge when you have 4 drinks. And you have them in the corner, you're going to be able to drink and actually have Oki. And that is one of the best places, by the way, to drink with Jamie. Generally, I try to drink once or twice and then get my opponent to the corner to get more drinks. But it's not like a hard rule that I follow, because you just got to play it as is most of the time. OD Palm is really good. OD Palm, when it hits, most of the time you can drink twice, but there are quite a few ways to punish it. Most characters can punish it. Most people, like, they'll recover backwards and then they'll be too far away. But if you recover in place after the OD Palm, this is actually minus 25. So after you do a drive rush, you'll have 14 frames when you get up to still punish it. A lot like if it's a Jamie mirror, you can drive rush and then down heavy kick, it'll punish him. So that's it. OD Palm. And you can definitely hit confirm this. And on block, if you activate level 2, this is kind of a... I don't like doing it on block, though I do it sometimes to force the offense. But if you can... It's way better to do it on hit, basically. So you can guarantee the corner carry and have some damage out of it. Forward heavy kick. This is... It's really hard to use this move, because it is pretty slow. 16 frames is actually reactable. It's very tough to do it, to react to it with something like perfect parry, but the underlying issue is that because it's so slow, you might run into some other pokes. So if they're just even like they're not even paying attention for it, they're just hitting down medium kick and buffering, it's probably going to hit your forward heavy kick. And forward heavy kick is cancelable into level 2. This is also something you can hit confirm, and it's very good at in combo. This is a buff he just got recently. Now these two combo into each other. Well, the target combo doesn't require counter hit anymore, so this is actually really good. You can confirm this. And there's a lot of variations you can do for different kinds of pressure. Like here, you can go into command grab. But in general, just the idea of being able to do this and not having to spend meter anymore, you just take them to the corner, and then you have a really strong position. There's a little bit of pressure to make the level 2 work, you know? But at least it's not like it was before, where you just lose all your drinks. That was silly. The other thing important about forward heavy kick is it's +5 on counter hit. So most of the time you can get target combo. I still sometimes hit light kick just because like I'm not keeping up maybe I'm not keeping up with how many drinks I have. I know light kick's gonna work, so sometimes I do that instead. And that's pretty much it. On punish counter, you can get down medium punch. If they're near the corner, down medium punch goes into OD Palm, and you can get some good stuff there. That's pretty much it. Forward heavy kick, the range is really good, but it's just really slow. You have to be careful with it. And you can hit confirm into any super with this. You just try it out. Random guard. Hit confirm. The block. That's how it goes. Okay, that's forward heavy kick. And now we got the coveted down medium kick. Everybody loves salsa verde after down medium kick. So first of all, the way that you should use down medium kick drive rush on paper is with down light punch, because this makes it so that there's no gap in between this. If you do down medium punch, there's a 2-frame gap. You can see on the frame data line, there'll be 2 frames that are empty. Well, there's one box that is blank, and then there's one more next to it right here. So they can actually do uppercuts, but some characters don't got them. So they're gonna have to perfect parry or super. But this is how you force the offense with Jamie. The recurring theme, though, is if you do get offense, then you're gonna have to drink. So you gotta slow down your offense, unless you just go for Oki instead of the drink. But in the early parts of the round, like if you end up with this, a lot of other characters, they'll throw you and then be able to do something else after that. And Jamie can do that. His throw is good, especially in the corner. This actually has good advantage. If they back recover, you don't really get too much. Right here, you can do drive rush heavy punch, but it don't really do a whole lot. So most of the time when you get that throw, you're just gonna drink, so that maybe you can do something better later. That's pretty much it, though, man. You do down jab off of that. It's +3, and from there you can bait the throw and get a little bit more out of it. It's really not that devastating. But he does have down medium into drive rush. The good thing, though, is if this hits and they're near, like maybe about here mid screen, you can hit confirm this into tensai kicks instead. And then do this. This is very good. This combo is unnecessarily hard, but it does do great damage. Corner carry, drink, Oki. That is really good. So what I really suggest is putting the guard on random. Do down medium kick. If it's a block, you do down light punch. If it's a hit, you switch to tensai kicks. and then you drop that combo and then complain about Jamie. Just like me. He's just like me for real, for real. So it's still on random guard, and when it hits them, I switch to tensai kicks, and then I drop the combo. See? That's how it works. Perfect. Yep, that's pretty much the best way to get started. There's other things you can do, like medium punch for other reasons, and down medium punch. This is still good. It gives you throw position, even though it doesn't jail them. And heavy punch doesn't either. You can do medium punch, like if you have command grab, drink 3, and then you can frame trap with command grab. It's a, you know, it is what it is. It's a command grab. It's really hard to just, like, the problem is if you do all that, the next thing you do is going to be drink 4, and then if they're near the corner, it's great. But spending 3 bars of drive gauge for opportunity feels terrible. So, I mean, it's so conditional, but if you have 3 drinks and you have critical art, if you do something like this, all right, I can work with that, and then this is going to do decent damage. But that's so much meter for just, you know, to make this opportunity happen. But enough about that. That's it. Down medium kick, drive rush, and stand heavy kick. So this may be one of the most important attacks from Jamie. It's also really slow, but the distance is one of his longest range normals. There's a lot you can do with this attack. You can do heavy Rekka, and if you space that well, it's hard for them to punish. Maybe not Ed though. Might have to do medium punch. So Ed is really good at dealing with Jamie's, like, that's still punished. But this, maybe I can space it so it doesn't punish, and then you can do the poop head thing. It's a spacing trap, bro. Whatever. So here's medium Rekka, and then you can follow up with down medium kick, heavy. And that can, you know, create this stupid mind game where they don't want to attack, so you can press again. So you can do like one of these, and then maybe they don't attack, and then you can do another one, and But I actually highly suggest you find ways to gimmick your opponent with heavy kick. Like, oh, something like maybe medium punch, and then I can fit that in there. Oh my god. There we go. Like, I honestly, I don't like it as a person, but I recommend finding all the dumb and dirty ways that you can convince your opponent to get hit by heavy kick, because the reward is just absurd. You take away drive gauge, you get corner carry, you get good damage from it, and you can even do like what I did before. It's hard to do, but you can still do this ender here. This is not the greatest example, but the idea is still there. Like, that is tremendous reward. Tremendous reward. And if they block it, it's doing good damage to their drive gauge as well. And also, since there's more block stun on the heavy kick, you can use this to go into things like down medium punch, and there's no gap in between it. So you can really attack their drive gauge with heavy kick, get drinks off of it. It's just obviously slow, easy to whiff punish. It's hard to use this. Did I demonstrate how palms can be safe in neutral? I don't know if I did. There you go, -1. Don't get jumped on. So yep, stand heavy kick. You can also do like Street Fighter V, where if it punish counters, you can change what you do. So I'm gonna do a Rekka. So I'm doing heavy punch. We'll just do medium punch Rekka since that was working earlier. It is medium punch Rekka, but it is punish counter. So I can do Rekka and then switch it to OD palm. Because of the punish counter, it changes the buffer window. So then I can enhance my combo instead of just getting the kick Rekka, or just the punch Rekka into kicks. So I can do Rekka and then switch it over. You can also do, I think, drive rush? Is that right? No. Yeah, you can. But you don't want to spend 3 bars for that. It's not needed. And then in the corner, this is very good to do. It costs no drive gauge. So if they're near the corner, like right about here, and you hit them with heavy kick, this is too far. Be a little bit closer. Like right here. You can do that. That's really good. It's great. Better than bad, it's good. So, drive rush, heavy punch. This is the thing. Everyone does. It's hard to check it because it's 5 frames, and the moving hitbox on it, it's It can be really tough to challenge this with a fast attack because it might hit you while it's traveling. So you try to check it and you just end up getting hit, counter hit. So this is a pretty good move. It is a tad bit overrated. It's only +1 on block and outside of throw range. So the threat is not that great. It's good when it hits. Regular hit, it's +5. So you can do, at minimum, light kick, heavy kick, uppercut, rank. That's pretty much it. If you want Oki, you can do light kick DP, dash up twice, +4. Still good. But the good thing is when it counter hits or punish counters, you get a lot more out of it. So this is +7 on counter hit, so you get down medium punch. Down medium punch is not that significant if they're not in the corner. If they're near the corner, it's pretty good because then you get OD palm and you can pick them up with down light kick. Hold, I missed. But right about here. There we go. That's pretty good. But as you can see, it's going to dig into your drive gauge quite a bit. So one of the reasons why people see that, like, sometimes my gauge is kind of low as Jamie. Because if I want to, like, drink and have offense, I got to spend some stuff. That's pretty much it. Because this is going to cost 1 bar. That's going to cost almost 2 bars. But you just got to have a lot of drive gauge management with this character. It's part of the difficulty of playing him. So, yep, drive rush, heavy punch. And then if it punish counters, you can get down heavy punch. This is really good. It's very high damage. Down heavy punch, and then in the corner you can do all this. You can cash out. And even with 0 drinks, this does great damage. Yep. 0 drinks, still good damage. Over 6k. Cool. And if they're in the corner, you can do some cool stuff like this. This is a cash out combo. You can actually super here. That does decent damage for level 1, but that's to kill them. You want them to not survive that because you're gonna be in burnout. It will put you in burnout. Okay. And one more thing for the neutral skip section is OD Rekka. So this is actually faster than heavy kick, and I think it has slightly more range. And they did buff this recently, but not in the greatest way. So let's see. Let's go a little bit further back. There we go. So from here, heavy kick whiffs, but Rekka still has more range and it's faster. And you can hit confirm the remaining parts of the Rekka. Yeah, most of the time you're gonna go into kick Rekka so you can get the drinks. And yep. And when you have 3 drinks, this is actually real. When you go into OD Rekka like this, forward heavy kick will actually frame trap. Without the OD Rekka, this one is not actually real, but I do it all the time. There's a 5 frame gap in between this. So technically, if they hit a jab, it will beat it. Did I do that right? Let me try it one more time. Yeah. I use it, but it's not exactly real. There's other things you can do, though. Like maybe if they try to check, you can do heavy punch and you'll hit them trying to check. So there's stuff there. But that 3rd to 4th drink knockdown is really important. It's a really important idea with Jamie. So you can play to like when you're at 3. Like sometimes I don't go for the 4th drink because I want the knockdown to happen at a different point. So like for example, when I do have these 3 drinks and I do kick Rekka, usually this is -1, but now it's +22. So there's some cool things you get off of that. +22 means overhead is meaty. Don't really matter too much. That is +2. Yeah, that's it. You can also do drive impact. This works way too often. Drive impact is okay there. You can also do stand light punch, command grab. That's a frame kill. And then off of there, you get all kinds of cool stuff. And you're always gonna have command grab there at drink 4. OD Rekka can also go into level 2 and forward heavy kick combos off of that. And we did that earlier. So what are the honest lol neutral buttons that Jamie has? Like what buttons do you, when you're like being patient and you're being a boomer, waiting and whiff punishing, what attacks do you use? Standing medium kick is probably the highest priority. This is the first move that you think about because it does, hi YouTube, it does have a, not really a low crushing property, but it does deal with other low attacks very well because it doesn't have this lower hurt box on it. So other like down medium kicks from Cammy, Jamie, Ken, whatever, this move is going to deal with it pretty well. And it's hard to whiff punish it because of the amount of distance that it covers. They have to be at a greater distance too. So if you're using this right about here, your opponent has to be really sharp to whiff punish it because they have to use something that's kind of slow. So it's going to have to, and risky if they mess it up. So they're going to have to do like their sweep. Maybe they're pre-buffering and poking. This move is kind of almost like in the skip neutral. It's like anti-neutral, this attack. So you can buffer this into Rekka. You can buffer it into Drive Rush, just like I showed before. If it hits, you go into that. If they block it. Down medium punch is actually, there's no gap here. So you can actually lead into throw with that. Medium punch, there will be a 1-frame gap. But ideally, I think counter poking is better with this so you can save meter. You can combo into heavy Rekka, but I think medium punch is better most of the time. Just because if they block it, you'll be at a better distance if you do it at the very tip. Like even Luke probably can't even punish this with down light kick. Yep, and that's good. So you can do one of those and then that silly thing. Boom, boom. But that's too slow. Medium kick, very good. And also medium kick goes into OD Rekka. This can combo on hit. Very good. So if they're near the corner, you can go for the sweep. And this is very fuel efficient. If they're almost at the corner, you can do drive rush, stand light kick. Right about here. And then heavy punch, sweep. Very good. And you get the plus frames off the sweep. So you're +4 after you do sweep and a drink in the corner. It's very good. However, you can't walk backwards and avoid throws. You can't actually shimmy with this unless you do like a goofy back heavy punch. You gotta walk back and do back heavy punch. Dive kick and that'll beat throws. Backdash. It'll beat a lot of uppercuts, but not all of them. But yeah, maybe we'll talk about Oki later. I just want to get to the neutral and some of the anti-airs. Medium kick. So that's it. Yeah. So down medium punch and down medium kick and medium punch Rekka. These are really important. You have to be able to whiff punish with down medium kick and get that first drink or whatever drink. This is really important to be able to do. So you want to space it in a way that it's hard to punish. So yeah, if you space it really well, it's going to be okay. But if you're too close, you're going to eat it. It's not good. Not good at all. Light punch is kind of nice too. Heavy punch. That's pretty much all there is to it. Down medium punch. You can also put this with Rekka. It's almost like Luke's down medium punch. It's hard to whiff punish this move, but you still might get buffered on if they're just doing down medium kick drive rush. And again, the underlying issue is that your reward isn't really that great. So if you get the OD palm and they're near the corner, that's pretty good. But if you get like medium punch and then drink, it's not that good. But you got to do it. And heavy Rekka does work off of down medium punch. So if you're poking against something, man, Ed's not a good example. But let's just say he's doing heavy punch. Maybe you can hit that with down medium punch, and you don't really have to react either. You can just be buffering it in neutral, and if it happens to hit, oh god, oh god. Just Jamie problems. My bad, OG. Now, standing medium punch is really awkward to use in neutral because the distance is not that great. And by the time you get to this range, you're probably going to eat a down medium kick drive rush and talk about how much you love the game. But this move is good to use in neutral because you can attack their drive gauge with it, and this is +2 on block. So when you're combining this with like down medium kick, OD Rekka is good for the safety on block. If you have meter to spare, it's not bad to do this sometimes. So this will be a 5-frame gap. Most people aren't going to hit their light attacks from here, and sometimes people just try to walk backwards. So this is a pretty decent way to, you know, pressure your opponent a little bit. If my opponent is blocking a lot, you can do some sequences like medium, 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 heavy, medium Rekka, and then the drive gauge exchange is heavily in your favor. So this will force them to start moving if you do things like this. Like, you see, my meter is still half by doing that. So then once I can condition them with something like that, then I can walk up and throw them. Medium, this, and then Hermit Punch if they attack back. There's a bunch of weird things you can do with this to make some plays happen. But just in general, Medium Punch is really good when you can find the gaps to use it. When it counter hits, you can get down medium kick, and that's a drink. Or it's corner carry. Oh. Or you can go into this. It costs a lot, and sometimes it's better to not go for the right combo. Just go for the sweep immediately. Just a little bit on that combo. It's really difficult to do, obviously. But if you mess up the heavy punch, you miss out on so much. Like, the purpose of doing that heavy punch is to get more corner carry, a little bit more damage, more super out of it. But it's better to make sure you get the sweep and a drink. That's the most important part. Like, I've been doing that combo for months and I still drop it like 25% of the time. The look of slight disappointment. You know, that's what you sign up for playing this guy. So yeah, that's stand medium punch. When stand medium punch punish counters, you can also get sweep. That's an easy drink. And if you're close enough, this is one of those things with Jamie that you gotta make this combo a little bit better, this combo a little bit better. You gotta like add things just by doing a little bit more damage. Maybe you add like 20 more points of damage to one combo, 50 to another, and now you've done 70 more damage. So like if the medium punch counter hits and you're close, you want to do down medium punch instead of down medium kick, because the down medium kick is going to add a lot more scaling. So if you do down medium punch and you do something like this, we got 2661, but if I do down medium kick, 2571. So it does less damage, not a whole lot, but if you can squeeze some damage in a different scenario, it's just better. And like, for example, if they're near the corner, you can't do down medium kick into Oli Palm. That doesn't work. But if you do medium punch, then you're in a much better spot because you can do palm off of that. So like, just having these slight improvements here and there is like critical to this character. Okay, obviously sweeping is very important. I don't recommend doing it randomly unless your opponent never crouch blocks. You can try it at a distance sometimes, but it's just the risk versus reward is just insanely bad if you do that. But there are some things you can react to. Like Ed, you can sweep some of his normals on reaction and do it 3 times so you can be as strong as he is. This is very hard to do, but it can be done. There's down heavy punch. This one's much easier. And then what is it? Down medium kick. You gotta take everything you got just to get some drinks in a solid way with this character. It's so hard to do it. And yeah, you have to combine all of these together. All these neutral tools that I've gone over so far, you have to combine them. Because if you're only doing one and not the rest of them, they're not good enough on their own. So you have to do palms to make them look for the palms, and when they're looking for the palms, you start doing drive rush jab. When they start neutral jumping, you gotta uppercut. So you have to make them move in a favorable way. Oh, I haven't done I didn't put overhead in this also. I'm trying to use overhead a lot more. So this is the overhead when you have no drinks. It's not very good. It can go over lows. I won't really go over that too much because it doesn't really matter. It can go over lows, but with 0 drinks, it's kind of whack. When you have 2 drinks, the distance increases, and this is pretty good actually. I'm trying to use it a lot more. And then you can now, it comes with a target combo that now you can hit confirm. They buffed this recently. So let me see if I can do this. It's a block. Oh, I missed it. Block. There we go. Hit confirm. Block. I missed it. It is possible to hit confirm this now. It's very difficult. But one thing that happens for me often is if I punish counter with it, it's very easy to hit confirm it then. If that happens though, then you want to just do the combo instead. Just +5, right? +5? Yeah. So that's target combo. You can go into Bakai or uppercut, drink. So you do light Bakai for pressure, +4 when you dash up, or you do heavy kick uppercut if you want to drink. But if they're near the corner, you do kick Rekka, but don't put yourself in the corner. There's a lot of little rules you gotta follow just to make something decent. Medium punch, crouch heavy kick, light punch palm. Heavy punch palm is safe now. I actually like using heavy punch palm when I'm close, because, you know, it makes it safe. If I do the light palm up close, it gets punished pretty easily. So some people are expecting that. So I do heavy punch palm, and then maybe I'll do a dumb perfect parry. Maybe a dumb OD dive kick, because they might try to throw me. Stupid. Yep. So what else we got? 6 HK. We've pretty much went over that already with the neutral skippity skip. 5 HK punish counter. Yep, this is one of the most important things. If you can get this to start hitting punish counter, you're in business. But as a poke, it's you gotta use this move a lot. It's very good. And anything else? 6 MK. I actually did write it down. Cool. OD dive kick. So you get dive kick at 1 drink, and it's good because it unlocks the ability to get more drinks pretty much. So let's say you do a string like... So I lost my turn after I do that light punch. So if I do like medium, light, it's their turn, basically. Boom, boom. So I can just throw a dive kick in there and it's gonna be safe on block. That's pretty much how you want to use it. You want to throw it in positions where you might be at a disadvantage, but because you're in the air, they don't actually hit you. And then you're just safe. You're safe on block, which is not the best. But when you do dive kicks that close, it's always going to be safe. Now you can do dive kicks at a distance. About after a medium kick, max range, the dive kick will have plus frames. It's not that good though, because you're not in throw range. But if they attack, you can frame trap them. Yep, that's pretty much it. Vaguely threatened, go EX dive kick. Yeah, you're not wrong. Pretty much all there is to it. You can use it on wake up. It's kind of tough to do it, but you can use it on wake up to beat throws. You can use it during their block strings when they have gaps, and then it'll hit them. Now, when it does hit, most of the time you want to go into uppercut, drink. You can also do uppercut, like light kick uppercut. I actually don't do this too often. And then you have Oki when you're up close. If they're in the corner, this is really good. Go into drink. I don't want to go into it too much, but there is some cool things you can do with this when they're in the corner. There's also some bad things that can happen too. But let's say they throw here, and then I OD dive kick, heavy, light punch uppercut, dash up, and that dash you can do a lot of stuff with it, basically. So this situation happens quite often on a lot of the knockdowns, and this doesn't work for every uppercut, but it does work against Eds. And you can punish some characters. You can do big punishes on. What is Ed? I'm plus 14, so I'm just a little bit short. So that's pretty much the idea, though. The dive kick will go over some of the reversals. It doesn't work against Guile or DJ. There's a bunch of weird ones, like Manon's level 2, just hit you in the air. But there's some cool things you can do with this. That's pretty much it. Pretty much all there is to it, without going finely into detail. So that's dive kicks. It is a good neutral tool. Yep. And what is that? Level 4 heavy punch Rekka. What are you talking about? oh, when you have 4 drinks. When you have 4 drinks with Jamie, your Rekka is now safe no matter what the distance is. It's now -3. It also hits twice, which gives you a lot of time to confirm what happened. So especially if you have 4, if you have 4 drinks and critical art, you can just hit confirm it. And that's pretty cool. Pretty easy to do. And when it punish counters, you can combo off of it, right? They buffed this a little bit. This was always like this, though. You could always do this before they buffed. So as a punish counter, that's pretty good. And the distance is really good, too. It rarely happens because Rekka is so slow. But it's pretty good. Because it attacks their drive gauge as well. So, you know, I didn't mention forward heavy kick is good, too, now. You used to have to do forward heavy kick and then confirm if it's counter hit or punish counter, but you don't have to do that anymore. You can do forward heavy kick and then just hit confirm it, which I didn't do. Oh, I missed it. There we go. You can hit confirm the second hit now. Yep. And from here, you got command grab, down medium punch. Lots of cool things. And I think that's really it as far as skipping neutral and then the basic grounded tools to get you going with this character. And I kind of want to leave it at that, to be honest, because this this is just the beginning. Like the optimization, the things that you lead into after you actually hit them, and once you get the drinks going, that's really the meat and potatoes. This is just like the pots and pans to get to start cooking with them, and that's already a lot. That probably went on longer than I would have liked, but that's a really good start. I think I got everything. Somebody mentioned, I can probably take questions in the chat too. Somebody mentioned back heavy punch earlier, and back heavy punch isn't really a neutral tool. You can kind of use it with drink 3. It's stupid. Like, you can walk into their ranges and then use back heavy punch because it has more of a backsway on it. But then the issue with that is if you walk into that range, your back heavy punch doesn't actually hit them. So you want to do it closer at a range that's dangerous. That ain't good either. So it's just stupid. There's some ways you can set up. Might even work against some light attacks. Like this works okay, but it feels like it's just doing too much, and it's not necessary. Especially for what you get off of it, it's not that good. Like there's a lot of cool things you can do with back heavy punch. First hit's super cancelable. You can space stuff like this. Do it in a second. You can space light kick and then back heavy punch. It's just not that good. It's not doing enough. Like Luke, if you punish counter with Luke's back heavy punch, which is better by the way, like I think the ratio where he goes backwards, I think he gets more. He gets down heavy punch into charge flash knuckle. You know what Jamie gets? +5. You can level 2 and then it's pretty good, but like it's so much work for not a whole lot of, like too much effort for like the juice. It doesn't feel like it's worth the squeeze a lot, but it's cool and it works. That's certainly a cool thing, that it's cool. It's cool that it's cool. Luke's is straight up special cancelable. You can driver's cancel off of it. That's stupid. Yeah, so yeah, back heavy punch. I wouldn't call it a neutral tool. I don't know what I'd call it. It's a funsies tool. I guess one more thing that's worth going over is to be a dookie head. And when you do things like heavy punch, perfect parry. Yep. You do a dive kick, perfect parry. I'm sorry, I don't like doing it, but if I don't, it's pretty much it. So what happens, so here's the thing that happens though, when you start to perfect parry more, your opponent will start to throw when you do that. And then when you got dive kick, you can, I'm sorry, but it makes sense. I don't like it, but you can start to do that. And then if they're looking to see if you parry or not and then throw you, you can steal your turn again. You can do more stuff. I don't like it, but look, you gotta do what you gotta do out here. I lost 200 MR last night. I was almost legend with Jamie. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Well, I think that about covers it for the skip neutral and grounded neutral. I guess I can tag on the anti-air stuff. It's pretty easy. So you got down heavy punch. This is the easy anti-air. And yeah, that's how that works. Light kick DP. You can't actually drink after this. I mean, you can do if you want to, but if they don't rise, a lot of characters can actually punish it. Heavy kick is better because it makes them go further away, but heavy kick is much slower, so it's easier to miss. And one problem with Jamie's uppercuts is if they jump at like that range, it's gonna be hard to hit it. And to deal with that, you want to do jump back medium punch. This is gonna knock them down. You can drink after that. Heavy kick also the same, but it's slower. And then if it's like an emergency and you saw it really late, jump back light kick, jump back light punch, they're about the same. I think light kick's better just for the hitbox. And that's pretty much it. You can also jump forward with jump medium punch if you see it really fast. And then you can delay dive kick quite a bit. That works pretty good. Now, the best anti-air in the game, in my opinion, tensai kicks. This is a really good anti-air because it gives you so much, right? You can get corner carry from this, or you can drink. And it's pretty decent for damage too. Only problem is it's not invincible and it's slow and the angles aren't always the best. So here's what it looks like. Like if you're trying to use tensai kicks against Cammy, it's a bad idea. But against like Luke, I think it's worth learning how to use this. So this attack is designed to be an anti-air. And the reason why I say that is because this green part, the hurt box, is below the hit box right here. That tells me it's supposed to be an anti-air, pretty much. Yep. Yep. Man, I'm the worst with this pen now. Same with right here. It's even better on the second active frame. So it is designed to be an anti-air for 3 frames. And it's also an anti-air that you can lead into a level 3 because you got the oldie dive kick. What do I do? Yeah, like that. You can do cool stuff like that. Yep, it's really good. It's a really good anti-air. A lot of characters can't combo off of their anti-air like that and have options. So it's very strong. If you have 4 drinks, you get corner carry. Yeah, it's good. And if you think about how it kind of complements his command grab, if people try to neutral jump, I'll just show you. It's hard to get an exact example like this because sometimes characters have some characters have things like dive kick. They jump and do a dive kick. So if I set up command grab like this, you know, obviously they can punish. But if I don't do anything, or let's say I do a regular throw, I try to walk up and throw them. I can anti-air, and if that's too slow, I can still do a regular uppercut. That's pretty much it as far as neutral and anti-airs with Jamie. If you want to see more, if you want another video where I go into detail about his knockdowns and all the Oki situations and character-specific stuff, just let me know. Like this video, comment, let me know if you got any questions. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And that's the Jamie tutorial for that. Ding! I should have recorded. I'm gonna use my archive again. Ew.